I would pick Kruger here, which is perhaps the highest concentration of the Big Five. You cannot get better than this as far as the Big Five is concerned, because your chances of seeing them all at one trip is the highest. Hi, this is Sanjar Imam, founder and director of Panache World, a luxury travel company that handcrafts trips across the world. As a travel designer, I view Africa's national parks not just as parks, but distinct ecosystems. And they offer a variety of adventure and luxury. So picking just 5 is a difficult job, but here goes nonetheless. But the Serengeti is the quintessential out of Africa experience. It is home to the Great Migration, where 1.5 million wildebeest and zebras cross across the plains. It's a spectacle to watch for anybody. I have myself been held up for 45 minutes because they were crossing this road, and I turned around to my driver and said, "I'll miss my flight." And he goes, "The flight won't go, they'll wait for the wildebeest to cross." If you do choose to go to Serengeti, stay in the Western Corridor or the Northern Serengeti, because the river crossing access is the best from there. The lodges there are much more private, offering you exclusivity. My next pick would be the Okavango Delta in Botswana. It's an amazing piece, and there's a geological miracle of sorts, because it has a river that never meets the sea. And what it does instead is create this delta which floods the plains and creates a labyrinth of lagoons, which becomes your riverway to explore the region. This is the pinnacle of low tourism. It's low volume, but very, very high in value. The pro tip here is to experience it at its best, is to get into one of the dugout canoes and get to see the elephants and hippos very up close. No engine sound, best way to experience it. My third pick is back in Tanzania. It's the Ngorongoro. It is an inactive but intact volcanic caldera. What it does is it creates a natural enclosure for about 25,000 animals that can be found in the wild. The best way to experience it is, first, of course, stay on the rim so that you are the first jeep into the caldera. And second is, it's a one-day wonder, so make the most of it. Don't come back to your hotel for lunch. Instead, ask them to pack you a picnic bag and have the picnic in the caldera. Moving further south to South Africa, I would pick Kruger here, which is perhaps the highest concentration of the Big Five. You cannot get better than this as far as the Big Five is concerned, because your chances of seeing them all at one trip is the highest. The thing, however, is that I suggest moving away from the national park and into the private reserves like Sabi or Timbavati, which are great because they are all connected. There are no borders between them. You can go off-roading, and if you have an expert tracker with you, they do an amazing job of tracking animals, especially the leopard, which is difficult to find. And they are so connected that they will get you to the leopard and very, very close to the leopard. And the final pick for me would be the Namib desert in Namibia. This, unlike the others, is not about animals. It's about landscape. Landscape that is so stunning, it takes your breath away, and you can't help but wonder at the beauty of this earth. Imagine huge orange dunes. In fact, it does have the tallest sand dunes in the world. And then imagine those dunes just dropping into the Atlantic Ocean. For that reason, I recommend balloon trips, which give you a completely different perspective when you look at it from the bird's eye view. Just the contrast of the orange and the blue is a fabulous treat. Having done several trips to Africa personally, to all these places, Africa has become very close to Panache World. We get very excited when somebody is seeking out Africa, and we love to curate trips to Africa. If you ever think of Africa, think of Panache World.